everybody, and welcome to Bite Size, our Monday live stream. That's recording for our podcast as well. So if you're new around here, welcome. This is Bite Size. We do 2 live streams a week, and we do this one 8 o'clock on a Monday, and we do our award-winning show on a Friday at 7 o'clock UK time. Now, thank you very much to everybody who joins us live for any of these shows. We really appreciate it. Friday's show just gone. There was loads of people on that, so thank you very much to everybody who tuned into that and listened to that. So yeah, again, thanks very much to everybody joining. If you are watching this live, get your comments, questions, and all that sort of stuff in the chat, please. It's really important to me that we get some stuff in there so we can keep the nation entertained for the next 30 odd minutes. Can somebody please keep me up to speed on the Spurs score in the chat as well? That would be appreciated. Even though I've sort of gone off football, I still like to keep abreast of what's going on. So, this is Bite Size. We sort of hang out. We talk about whatever, really. Running shoes, running kit, what I'm up to. And it's a bit of a sort of, I don't know, it's more of a intimate setting for us. It's like a romantic meal. We've gone out on a date. Should we call it that? Lots going on. 18 miles for me at the weekend was done. Tick the box. That's the last long run done. I'm winding down to New York. If you're listening to this for the first time, I'm doing the New York City Marathon in under 2 weeks. I'm doing that thanks to the guys at Believe in the Run and New Balance. If you've not seen my Instagram, I just go on there at FORDY_runs. Just put a post up on the stories about what we're going to be wearing. So have a look at that, what you think about that. So let me know in the chat comment thing, if you're listening to this, what do we think of running in white singlets, white vests? Let me know. Do you think it's a good look, bad look? Let me know in the comments, and I will refer back to this shortly, and I will ask other people who join us about this. So it's a white singlet. It's a special Train to New York City singlet. So I'm part of the New Balance team. So if you go on to the New York City sort of thing to check everybody's numbers, you'll see me, Chris Ford. I don't even know what number I am, but whatever it is, and then you'll see. Actually, it says affiliation, club affiliation. It says New Balance on there. I'm guessing because I'm part of the New Balance team, so you'll see that under there. So it's not guessing. I'm part of the New Balance team. So if you look up Chris Ford, and it is me, I'm under New Balance, which is pretty awesome, I think, really, from an everyday runner who's sort of showing you how it can be done if you get lucky in life, I suppose. It's true, isn't it? So if you think about it, it's just mental, isn't it? To think like 5-6 years ago, I was just some dude in London at Greenwich, and now I'm going to New York City with New Balance to run the New York City Marathon, thanks to the guys that Believe in the Run, which is like, one of the biggest YouTube channels out there, and probably the go-to place for many people in terms of running shoe reviews and stuff like that. It's just mad, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers, really, to think where I've come from and where I'm going. It's just crazy. And I think, I know that that's all down to you guys. So thanks very much at the front end of the show. Just a big thanks to everybody for making this happen, because you're the reason why I'm going out there. So thanks very much. So so I'm on the tracking thing, but I can tell you now what the time will be. So it just save you like 4.5 hours of your time. I'm not running a time at New York, okay? So just to be prepared, I wouldn't necessarily waste too much time tracking me, because it'll be between 4-5 hours. It will be somewhere in there. So, but I appreciate the support if you are going to track me. But look up. It's Chris Ford. I don't know the number. It is out. It's on my dashboard. I've just not looked at it, and look under affiliation is New Balance, so you'll be able to know that's definitely me. But it's a banging white top. So let me know in the comments. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, what do we think of white tops, vests in general? I'm kind of cool with it, because it's like the Tottenham colours, so I'm kind of loving that. Although I think it's going to make my moobs look massive, which could be a positive. This week I'm tapering, doing a 2-week taper, so I'm trying to dial it down. I'm just going to do 3 miles pretty much every day. I think tomorrow I might do 4 or 5, but in general I'm doing 3 miles every day. I'm going to do like 10 miles at the weekend, and then just keep bringing it down, because I will fly out next week. Shoes this week on the channel, we've got a couple of ones I can't talk about, but we were able to put out the Vongo video today. So if you've not seen that and you're looking for a mild stability shoe, I've got them here. The New Balance, I'm holding it up to the camera if you listen to this as a podcast, the Vongo version 6. I put the review out today because that's come out along with the 1080 version 13. It's kind of cool. Again, this is benefits really the people watching, but it's got 2 layers of foam. There's like this top layer of the new Fresh Foam X. You see Fresh Foam X, huh? And then in here, right, you've got this. You can't see it on the camera. It's basically, it's called an EVA film. So it's like a plate kind of thing, but it's not. And then below that, you've got like this harder feeling midsole compound. So you've basically got 3 layers to this. It's kind of cool. So if you're after a mild stability shoe, it's one to consider. I think it looks great, by the way, especially in this blue colorway. But the only thing I would say, it's quite heavy. I've got all the dirt all over my desk now. It's quite heavy. It's just under 12 ounces in my UK 10. I don't fit true to size in New Balance. I'm usually a 10 in New Balance, and that's a 10. The 1080 version 13, which I've got down there, are a 10, which are drying out like my what's it called? The SC Elite 3s are absolutely ruined. So I've got a couple of shoes that are actually drying out this week. But yeah, so the Vongo 6, I think it's worth having a look at if you're into sort of mild stability. I have been running on and off, and I will get the thoughts down this week on that, probably towards the end of this week, on the ASICS GT 2012. I've got to wait and see. I need to if you're new around here, I try, where possible, to do a minimum of 20 miles in a shoe before I put a video out. I may put out a video, like a first impressions video, if it's a shoe that's, you guys are hunting for, like, I don't know. For example, if the Alpha Fly 3 came out tomorrow and I was sent it, then I'd probably put a first run out in that. But again, I would try and do something that was significant in it. But in general, we try and do a minimum of 20 miles. But basically, I run in them for a week and then I'll put the video out. Well, that's unless I've got like a certain date in which I have to post stuff, or there's an agreed timeline to which I will post a video. So that we're, because of where we are at now in the channel, a lot of that is in relation. So a lot of the stuff comes out in relation to certain dates that we can put things out. So that's why sometimes things come out early, sometimes things come out late, because they kind of sometimes direct the flow of when stuff comes out and when it doesn't come out, or if it's a tie-up with, I don't know, for example, Start Fitness. We've got later on in the week, we've got a winter shoes video. So that will come out later in the week. So these things, believe it or not, I actually quite planned when we put some stuff out. So yeah, so there's always, as I said, some shoes that I can't talk about as well that we've got in. So yeah, so that's the shoes this week. Yeah, like I said, we've got the winter running shoes. I think it's a good video if you're after a winter pair of shoes. The Vongo 6 is definitely worth having a look at. As I said, I'm going to try and film the ASICS GT 2012 towards the end of the week. This week's vlog is merely a sort of catch up or look back on my sort of New York City marathon training that will come out Sunday. Now I've got to give somebody a shout out, and I'm going to do it here. Hang on, where's my email gone? Because I'm going to tell you why in just a sec, and it will become, I've got to sign into my own email. Right, I've got to give a shout out to, listen to this, to my friend Nick, right? Nick, who knows who he is, Nick Walters, is one of the nicest people on this planet, okay? Because he has seen, and obviously I don't know if he's watching now, but he has seen every week me doing this, ready? Because my chair collapses, right? So Nick, who works for DS Office, Office Interiors. This is not a plug. He didn't ask me to do this, but I'm doing it because he's just a really nice guy. Bless him. He's actually organised to send me a new chair. How nice is that, people? So he's actually sending me a new chair to replace this one. I think that's awesome. So I'm going to give him a massive plug. DS Office Interiors Limited, right? Check them out. Whatever your business is or whatever you want to do, or whatever it is, but check out Nick at DS Office Interiors. I think that's one of the nicest things someone's ever done for me, because this chair keeps collapsing, as you may have seen over the last few months, whatever, how long we've been doing this show on the podcast. my chair keeps collapsing. So I thought that was really, really nice. I wanted to give him a shout out this week. So thank you very much. Right, I think that's it. I don't know what else to say really. Oh, I'll tell you what I did get this week. Hang on. Get rid of the Vongo. I did get from Brooks. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I couldn't be bothered to do an unboxing of some clothes, but look, I'll show you the jacket. This is the again, I apologize on the podcast, right? But this is this run visible stuff from Brooks. They sent me this to try out. Has anybody seen this? So I'm holding up the jacket at the moment on the channel. It's like a white it's got like the reflective elements on it. So I've got like leggings and I've got a top. We're going to get that out tomorrow at club. But has anybody tried that? I think it looks pretty good actually. So yeah, we're going to try that. Okay, right. So there we go. So remember, if you're just tuning in now, let me know in the comments what you think of white tops, vests, singlets. Because I'm going to be looking banging come next week. Is it next week? Yeah, next Sunday. It's Friday, isn't it? Okay, right, Gary. Thank you very much, Gary. Evening, Mike. Evening, Steve. Evening, everybody. Oh yeah, it's half term this week. Actually, I'm surprised anybody tuned in live to this because it's half term, isn't it? All the kiddies are at home. Good evening, Craig, James, Gary. Oh, it's just so many of you. Thank you very much to everybody. Oh, Vermont. Christina runs. That's awesome. Robert Henson. Gary, what are the differences between the Boston 11 and Boston 12? It's pretty easy to answer that, Gary. What are the differences between the Boston 11 and the Boston 12? Basically, the Boston level, the differences between the Boston 11 and the Boston 12. So the Boston 11 is terrible. The Boston 12 is awesome. That I don't know whether that helps, but the Boston 11 is like running on a brick. You might as well go out, right? Find somebody skip, take a brick out of there, and then tie it to your foot, and then try and run. Because that's basically what the Boston 11 is like. And there's a reason why it's really cheap. It's because nobody bought them because they were terrible. It was an awful shoe. And luckily enough for us, Adidas pulled a blinder because they listened and they came out with the Boston 12. And if you don't know anything about the Boston 12, it is probably the best sort of, I'm going to sort of call it daily trainer, really, because it's the sort of best of both worlds. You can do your faster stuff and you go long in it. You can do a little bit of easy stuff, although it is firm. I think the Speed 2, and by the way, Speed 3, sorry, has everybody been seeing on Instagram all the leaked images of the new Endorphin lineup, which come out in the new year? But the Speed 3 is still probably the best running shoe out there, right? But that's not for everybody. And the Boston 12 really has nailed it in terms of where it sits for everyone, because everybody can run in that shoe. Not everybody can get away with the Speed 3 because it's so soft. But the Boston 12 is an absolute cracker. And they are starting to get discounted down as well. Obviously, you can use the code 40 rounds at Start Fitness and you're going to get some money off there. But I think with Black Friday and things like that all coming up, if you're looking for a new pair of shoes to, even to wear through the winter, because the outsole on me is great as well, I'd really recommend picking up the Boston 12. But do not pick up the Boston 11. Save yourself some money. Go and buy a brick and tie that to your foot if that's what you want to do, because it's a big no. Right, here we go. So this is it. This is the white conversation. So again, if you're tuning in live, do we like white? So white is a no from Lindsay. I'm not a fan of it. I know. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. There's no right answer here, people. Robert, any news about a possible Super Blast 2? Don't worry. Well, I'm going to Texas, right? So if you didn't know, I'm going to Texas in the end of November. I'm going to the running event, which is a big sort of trade show, and they premiere all the shoes that are coming out next year and beyond. So I'm going to find out about all this sort of stuff over there. So I don't want to speak out of line until I've seen what's going on over there. So I'm heading over there. Hopefully I can find out. Hang on a second, I just dropped something. Sorted. So hopefully I can find out and then I can come back and tell you all about it. Don't worry, we won't tell ASICS has said anything. So yeah, so let me find out. And we'll see. But I'm going to ship another pair into the Super Blast. I'm really hopeful that when I go to America, I can get the red and blue version, because I really want the red and blue version. I just think they look banging. So I'm going to try and pick them up while I'm out in at an ASIC store out in New York. So wish me luck on that one. Right, I'm going to say this wrong from Jason. Chattanooga. Someone let me know if I said that, but it's Tennessee. Welcome, Jason, you hero. Absolutely. I'll look hench, Fordy. Thank you very much. Evening, Chris. Evening, Mick. Hey, Chris, how's the back? I would say 35 miles seems to suit the back quite well. I would say the back has improved. I have quite a bit of pain in my right hip, noticeable on Saturday. When I did the 18 miles, it is quite painful still, but I'm hoping the next week and a half, effectively 2 weeks from Sunday, will help it. That's the plan. So the focus for me on this taper is to really concentrate on the rest and recovery side of things. I've done a marathon recently in Berlin. I ran 18 miles on Sunday, so I know I've got the distance in my legs, so that's fine. I'm really out of shape. I feel in my body, in my mind, in terms of where I want to be in terms of performance. But the good thing is, I'm not going to New York to run a time, so I'm okay with where I'm at, sort of thing. I would much rather be going to New York in a better shape, physically, mentally, because how brutal the course is meant to be. But it is what it is, and I'll have to deal with it. But again, I'm not running a time, so yeah. So there we go. So I'll just sort of go. Any say Sky right? So on the Say Sky stuff, because I've seen this a couple of times, in terms of the Say Sky code, I'm going to be honest and transparent as always, and I'm probably going to get shot by Say Sky for this. But I emailed Say Sky and asked them what was going on with the code, and I've heard absolutely nothing. I've emailed them about something else. I've heard absolutely nothing. So I don't know whether they just don't like me anymore, which is fine because they chuck money at all these influencers and things like that. I don't go out and beyond like all these other people and just tell everybody to go and buy Say Sky. I generally wear the stuff, and I don't know whether they're not happy about me because I just don't tag them on everything on Instagram. But I'm fine with that. I can live without Say Sky stuff if that's up to them. But I find it a bit rude when they don't reply to an email. Maybe the person's left, and I get disappointed with it because they gave a code out and it's now not working. And I've asked, even if you come back and say, oh, actually, you know what, we've decided we're moving on to another person, whatever, they at least have the decency to tell me so I can tell people who follow me that the code doesn't work. So yeah, I'm really disappointed with Say Sky. I think it's disgusting, really, that they haven't had the decency to reply to my email. I'll give them benefit of the doubt, the fact that person's maybe left, but I think it's a bit not on, really. They've been great in the past, sent me loads of gear, which I've really enjoyed wearing. But if they're not prepared to, have the decency to write back, I think it's poor form. So personally, if that's the way they want to be, I won't wear the stuff anymore, even though I really, really, really like it. But I just don't like getting treated like that. I just think, always have a common courtesy just to say, sorry about that, Chris. Blah, 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 blah. I just don't think I just don't think it's right. But I say in the past they've been brilliant. They've been really good, and I love the stuff. I love the half tights, but I just get annoyed when they give a code out and it stops working. I just think, and they don't tell you, and then I follow it up. I waste my time because I haven't got time to keep emailing these people. And why not just let me know? Do you know what I mean? I just don't think it's on. So all I can say is go over to Andy Forrest of Dean. He's got a code, crack on. I mean, I don't get any money out of the codes, so just go and use Andy's one. I don't know what it is. It's probably FOD 15 as a guess, but I'm very disappointed with them. And I'm hoping that I can update you and tell you that they've made amends or something like that. So it's a real shame. But as I said, that's the way some of these brands are. They just move around from people to people and whatever. But yeah, again, I'll probably get shot for being too honest, but I can't help it. It is what it is. There's no reason to be rude. You know what I mean? John E, I hope you sweat a bit less than me as I end up looking like a wet t-shirt. I think it could be a wet t-shirt competition for me in New York. Let's see. Who knows what the weather's going to be? If it starts chucking it down, it's definitely going to be a wet t-shirt competition. So that'd be interesting. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. I've got a fantastic opportunity. To be honest with you, I'd run topless. I don't care. The opportunity that's been given to me is just amazing. So I will take it with open arms. I'd wear anything. To be honest with you, I don't really care. Mike's asking tips to dry your shoes out. Now, I've seen some of you guys giving an answer to that. So I'll let you crack on with that, Mike. For me, yesterday, I put the SC Elite 3s out in the sunshine and they dried off. So, yeah, I mean, It'd be obvious, but I know it's harder in the winter. Airing cupboards, one that people say, other people don't recommend doing it because it can do other things. So I don't know what's the right thing, but I have seen that some other people have been commenting. These are the things you have to do as an influencer, Gavin. Yes, that is true. Yeah, going back to the point, that's what I mean. Influencers, and we put a tongue-in-cheek video out at the weekend. As always, our video content is 90% tongue-in-cheek. We actually titled it influencer because we just laughed at the fact that I was called an influencer at the New Balance event. I don't particularly like the terminology. I think it's a horrible terminology, but yeah, so it was just more of a tongue in cheek, which I don't think everybody realizes that most of the time we are mucking about on the channel, which is one of the reasons why I don't think it gets that big when you compare it to some of the others. But again, you know, we're not going to change. We're not going to change people. We'll probably get worse. Tapering for Dublin this weekend. Good luck. Yes, Dublin Marathon this weekend. I've got a few clients doing Dublin. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Fingers crossed that the weather's going to be kind to you, and it's not like the guys at Beachy Head had, which was absolute brutal scenario. Scenes at Beachy Head. So good luck to anybody who's doing the Dublin Marathon. Yeah, good luck to that. Right. So Matt Nash, what's Matt saying? How many miles do you think is ideal to put through a new pair of Adidas Pro 3s for running a marathon? I've said this a couple of times, actually. I mean, the Adidas Pro 3, for me, is a shoe that I've taken out of a box and run a half in. I did that at the Great North Run, box fresh. So I think it depends whether you've run in them before, but for me, it's always that sort of 15, 20 miles to feel comfortable in a race day shoe. That's why I was in the... I suppose in the SC Elite 3 at the weekend on that long run, although I'm going to have a brand new pair. I've got that New York branded pair coming my way. I just wanted to remember what that's like in terms of the distance in that shoe. I did a race in them. I think I did something else in that shoe. I spent a lot of time in the SC trainer too. So I wanted to sort of refresh what it was like running the SC Elite. So I would say, good 15, 20 miles really is a good distance if possible. But again, it's all relative, isn't it? Again, I'm gonna have a box fresh pair for New York. I will try if I can and get them off a Thomas Early door so I can do the shakeout run in them. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do. Evening 40, evening Mark. Managed to snap up the Boston 12 for £105. Yeah, I think they're going to get them cheaper, as well. The one to look out for is the Nova Blast 3, the winter one and the normal one, because Nova Blast 4 is coming. Can't say any more than that, but there was a post out from ASICS today, so I can at least say that without getting into trouble. It was out in the public realm, so I can say that. Yeah, without getting into too much trouble. But I think you'll be able to pick up the Nova Blast 3 and the winter version of that shoe cheaper. So watch that as that price tumbles over the next few weeks as stock starts to get cleared. Yeah, I think I'm okay on that one. Yeah, probably got away with that one. What's this? Imagine if you backheeled instantly with a new chair. Well, this is the thing. We'll have to wait and see when the new chair arrives. Can't wait. It's going to be a great day in the FORDY household. Gavin, white vest looks good with a nice... Oh, by the way, again, if you're joining us late, let us know in the comments. We haven't got long. We've got like 10 minutes, if that. What you think of white vests? Is white a good look? White vest looks good with a nice tan. Not so much with my pasty Irish complexion. I'm with you, Gavin. I'm the same. Any sort of suntan that I had from the summer has well and truly been washed out. Definitely washed out Saturday. So I'm not thinking my pasty skin's going to look 100% banging coming to York. But again, I don't particularly care. I'm there for a good time. I'll run it naked. It doesn't really bother me. Right, Joshua, good evening. First time tuning in live. Thank you very much, Joshua. I appreciate you tuning in live. Running my first 50K in March. Wow. Haven't run a marathon before, but we're doing it before they've achieved more than any time. Any tips for the training? It's funny. Some people have done this. They've gone to the ultra distance before they've done the marathon distance, which I think is fine. I think it's like there's no... there's no difference in terms of the training in respect of consistency wins every day. So if you can get consistent in your training, and I'm talking throughout, not just your mileage and then the days, but I'm talking about fueling and everything, and even your preparation. Um, if you can get consistency in everything you do in your training, doesn't matter whether it's a catch the 5K or an ultra, that will help you. That will really show up later on in those miles when you're absolutely broken. So get consistent in your training. That's the key. You got it in March. You got plenty of time to build in um, and get that consistency going in your training. That is the key. I think one of the reasons why I'm second guessing myself is because I haven't been as consistent as I usually am because of the injury. So I would always recommend consistency. I think if you can get that in your training, then you ain't going to be a million miles away. Mick, I'm not going to talk about that. I've got a very strong opinion on that, and I'm not going to get into that. I just don't want to get in trouble, Mick. Evening 40, ran the Kingston Half Marathon yesterday. Got a PB of 2 hours and 1 minute. Well done. Shout out to the small hobbit-like person, creature, in pink disappearing into the distance ahead of me. Wonder who that was. Did that hobbit happen to have a brand new pair of New Balance 1080 version 13s on? And did they look like fresh? Yeah, let me know if that was something that you saw. But congratulations on your 2 hours and 1 minute. I would say the Hobbit is looking in very good form ahead of New York. It's a shame in a way that New York's not flat because I think he would really, really tear up a time because he's looking in fantastic shape. He won't be listening to this, so that's good news. But I think in a way, it's a shame that it's not a flat, fast course coming his way because I think he'd be able to tear it up and get that BQ. But I do think it's going to be an amazing sight or event that I'm going to witness when he's presented with his 6th star. I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see that firsthand, that he's going to get his 6th star at New York. I think that's one of the most impressive things I've seen. He is an everyday runner. He's applied to get into these ballots. He's worked really hard to get these times. And it's all relative, but he's worked hard at work to be able to afford to pay for it as well. I think that's it's I think like anything, right? It's working hard that sort of pays off, and I think it's just an amazing thing to see that he's going to be able to achieve his 6 stars, and I can't wait to see him do it. But yes, the small hobbit in pink, we all know who that is. He's 1080 version 13s. If you see him again, ask him how much he paid for him. Right. Honesty is the best policy. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll get told off for what I said about Sage Guy, but it's true. I mean, why not just reply to an email? It's not hard, is it? That video was top notch. Nice. Top notch banter. Never changed. Thank you very much, Gavin. So I think you're referring to the influencer video put out the weekend. We're just mucking about, really. What's this? Loads from my clubs in Belfast, in Berlin. Weather will be rainy and you know what? I might have to start wearing glasses on this thing. And about as degrees. Good luck, anyone coming over. It's a great run by all cats. Yeah, it's apparently the last 3 miles are downhill. So a bit of rain. We see. So thank you very much, Francis, for the up-to-date weather. So yeah, if you're doing Berlin, if you're doing Dublin, good luck with that. As I said, I've got a couple of my clients who are running it. Black vest has always made me look better, but white is cooler. I struggle with the whole body image thing and end up picking looks over. Yeah, I'm with you, Matt. Thanks for commenting. As I said, I'm a big advocate of body positivity, which is why we ran the big half topless. We just don't care. But I am with you. I'm still conscious of myself, and I'm conscious of the fact that I'm going to be wearing a white vest. But again, don't really care. It is what it is. I'll be come back to the weather. Francis just says it's going to be 12 degrees, so that's pretty cool. Barbara is saying she's done 3 ultras and never a marathon. See, that's a lot of people who've done that. Oh, here we go. He's coming back, actually. I think the way I see it is when I come to do my first marathon, I'll be gunning for a time, but that doesn't really cross my mind when doing ultra starts. Yeah, so that's a good shout. Doing the ultra distance, you're more trying to beat the distance instead of beat a time. I kind of get that. to be honest with you. I understand that. It's not something that really appeals to me, to be honest with you. I think I get bored. But I respect anybody who does ultras in a big way. So good luck to you, Joshua. I said, just get consistent at it, mate. Just get consistent. It goes throughout all your training. I think that's the key to this. Barbara thinks I'll look like I'll be escaping from prison. Maybe I'll get arrested, Barbara, when I land in America. Maybe I could end up in prison. They might arrest me. You never know. Could have upset somebody in a past life. Who knows, right? I might as well go to New York, not Las Vegas. So that's a bit of luck. And Gavin, just to make sure you've got plenty of battery left for your camera, we'll get to see the 6-star presentation. Bloody well deserved. Couldn't happen to us. Oh, yeah, I totally agree. It's a good point, actually. I've got to sort out the cameras for New York. Obviously, we're going to be filming it. We'll have. So that's a good way to actually wrap it up, because I do want to go and watch the Spurs game. We've got. So for New York, we will be doing a race day vlog. Sort of, yeah, my adventures around the actual race, let's say. And then we'll do a 40 runs weekend vlog as well. So the bigger one, the not the behind the scenes sort of thing, but like, expo shakeout run, because the shakeout run looks massive, right? I genuinely hand on heart think it's going to be the biggest shakeout run that's ever taken place. I think it's going to be absolutely huge. If you are in New York or around that sort of area and you want to travel in just for the shakeout run, I thoroughly recommend it. I'm going to be there, obviously. Hayden will be there, but there's all the Believe in the Run crew. Kafuzi's going to be there. Ben Johnson's going to be there. This Messy Happy's going to be there, which is awesome. We absolutely love this Messy Happy. Can't wait to see those two. Ben and Mary, absolutely love those two. So yeah, I would really recommend, if you are in the US and you want to come along to that shakeout run. I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Go over to Thomas's or Believe in the Run's Instagram profile, and you can get the thing to do the reservation. Oh, and another shout out for us. We've got the Christmas shakeout run on November the 29th, I think. I might have that date wrong, but that's also on our website. We've got a page under Shakeout Runs. You can also now sign up for the National Running Show Shakeout Run that we're going to be doing on the Saturday. We've got that event set up. We've not publicised it, but that's actually out and live now. You can now register for that. We will cap the numbers on that. So make sure you get in there and get registered for that. We've not put that out yet because we've been focusing on the Christmas run, which has just blown us away with the number of people who have signed up for that. I'm hoping only half of the people turn up that have signed up, because if everybody turns up, then we are shutting down London. And I'm not just saying that, we genuinely are. It's just literally blown my mind on that. But the National Running Show Shakeout Run reservation is open. There are limited numbers on that. So get over there. So it's fordyruns.com/shakeout. I think I might have that wrong. And then next year we've got shakeout runs all around the major events and stuff like that. Some of them will be collabs and not, but I can't say too much more about that because I'll get into trouble with some of the brands and partners that we're working with. But yeah, next year is going to be huge in terms of shakeout runs over here in the UK for us. So I think that's it. I'm going to go and watch the Spurs game. Doesn't look like I've missed too much from the comments I've seen. So thank you very much for keeping me up to date on that. Have a good week. I'm here next Monday. Next Monday will be the final bite size before the New York Marathon. There won't be one the following Monday because I'll still be in New York. I'll be shopping for Mrs. Ford and the kids. So I won't be doing a bite size then. And then we will return the following week. But I'll probably be on the pod that Friday. So this Friday is a pre-record for the podcast on the Long Run Show. It is if you're looking to do a sub 4-hour marathon, then I would listen to this Friday's podcast. We've got somebody who's just run a sub 4 with tips and hints on how they achieved it, how they trained for that. So that's a good one to watch. It's only half an hour. So I'd tune in for that live on, not live, it's pre-recorded. That's on Friday at 7 o'clock. But the podcast actually comes out on Friday morning. So you can check that out. Thanks again to everybody. Big thanks to, obviously, Nick at DS Office Interiors for sorting me out a chair. You hero. Can't wait for that to arrive. Thanks to Brooks for sending me all that stuff and everybody else who keeps sending me stuff. And I don't think I've got myself into too much trouble. I'll let you know next week if Say Sky have actually replied to the email. And I think that's probably about that. Come on, you Spurs. I shall see you all next week.